Happy Halloween review family. It's me, Jay Morris. I'm still under this. I've just transformed into a fucking panda. For those of you that remember when I used to have a panda in my background, you're elite. Today I just wanted to have a fun little video and talk about some of the best records in my opinion for the Halloween season. This could mean everything from the aesthetic to the way the songs are written to the look of things or just the general vibe of things being more creepy and eerie and ominous. I don't really have a distinction, and I also should point out none of these records are in any particular order, so just have fun with it. But what are your favorite records for the spooky season, metal or not? Let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear the things that you're enjoying in the spooky season. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween. The first record I want to say, and this should be obvious, is Motionless and White's record Creatures. Motionless and White is a must for a list like this, and you could literally say like any of their records, like Graveyard Shift would also be a great inclusion, but I think Creatures really has that OG metalcore sound, and it was their first record, so it had that youthful exuberance, but it also had the creepy vibes and the song topics that were all ghoulish and vampiric, and while they always had that throughout all of their discography, I think the gimmick of their initial approach was on full display here, and I think that makes it a ton of fun. This may seem a little cheap, but I want to say the self-titled debut studio-length album by Black Sabbath. Even though this isn't really like a Halloween record or a creepy record, not only did this record set a ton of framework for doom metal to come and sludge metal and all sorts of occultist stuff, it's hard not to include something to do with Ozzy Osbourne on a list like this because the dude just embodies the spirit of horror and Halloween, and metal and horror go hand in hand in such a way that you just have to include something with Ozzy. And I think this record, while it is very old school, it really does hold its own in terms of being creepy and being off-putting in its own way, and the fact that this record was able to accomplish that so long ago before so many records that would come decades later, I think is insanely impressive and definitely worth your time for the creepy season. One that I just think is great for the vibes of it is Monoliths and Dimensions from Sun. I think if you want something that is noisy and droning and cavernous and endless, it feels like a horror labyrinth. And all I gotta say is imagine you are tied down to like a table with a straitjacket and you're just forced to listen to this on full blast. Imagine it's like a sensory deprivation room, but the only sense you have is like extreme hearing. Imagine Sun's Monolith and Dimensions playing during that. You're welcome. Considering how metal and horror go hand in hand, I was really tossing around the idea of how many or what death metal record I was going to include here. I almost included something from Cannibal Corpse, but I had to end up going with Death's Scream Bloody Gore. Death really did have that thrash metal, that early death metal style on this record. Is it the first death metal record? You guys decide that. I'm not here to argue that. I actually asked on my community tab about that if you thought Death was or Possessed was, but that's irrelevant. Death here just made a really fun, fast-paced, thrash-influenced death metal record that has that ghoulish demeanor, and the horror of 80s and 90s death metal and thrash metal and just metal as a whole is so much fun, and I think this record encapsulates it perfectly. Gotta throw Typo Negative in here with October Rust. I was going like back and forth in my head of which Typo Negative thing to include because I knew I had to include them somewhere. I adore them. This is my favorite record from them, and if you're wanting that sexy, vampiric, Transylvanian vibe, I think this record is perfect for that. Now, if you just want to feel depressed and suicidal and gloomy and moody and macabre, The Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails would be perfect for that vibe. It really does encapsulate that hopeless feeling, that exterior of dreariness, and I think that's perfect for this season. Un Bal Dan Li Pied, I have always like butchered that pronunciation by Throwain, the solo project. I don't want to spoil too much, but if you want another one of those records that encapsulates the frenzy and the just complete chaos and like mania that this season can entail, it is horrific in its own way, and it's a record I would love to put on your guys' radar. I praised the hell out of it back when it came out, and I think it would be perfect for this time of year. Kind of similarly, Paysage d'Hiver with Involved is this endless cavern of sonic hell, and all of the atmosphere of it is so chilling and icy. This could also apply for like the winter season, but I just think that something about the bleakness of this and just how lost it feels and how endless it feels is so good for like a horror Halloween playlist. Even if you don't want to listen to the whole thing in one go, it really does fit like a glove for that feel if you're wanting something that just feels bitter and cold. It's getting hard to fucking breathe in that thing. But happy Halloween to you guys for those that celebrate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, let me know down below what bands, artists, songs, or albums are your go-tos for the creepy time of the year, bringing in autumn and Halloween and all that good stuff. Let me know. I can't wait to see some recommendations from you guys and hopefully hear some stuff I haven't heard before, or get reminded of something I liked. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, the Panda Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.